Alright, this video is going to cover 19 to 24, and we were pretty much done with 19. You have y is greater than or equal to. The equal to is because it's a solid line, and the negative 3 over 1 is slope, and 4 is the y-intercept. Negative 3 over 1, though, is the same as just negative 3. So our final answer is y is greater than or equal to negative 3x plus 4. Number 20, graph the system. That means we graph both on the same graph. So I'm going to start at negative 3 up 2 over 1. The next thing I look at is, do I draw a solid line? And in this case, yes, because there's the equal to line right here. Yes, solid. And then I need a shade less than. I've told some people if you draw a line perpendicular, so it looks like it's about 90 degrees to that line, we want the line that's headed less or going down. Which arrow looks like it's going down? It would be this one. So we would shade over here. The other line you're going to graph, you start at 2 on the y-axis, and because there's only a y, you can only cross the y-axis, and so that line would come across through the y-axis. It's going to be horizontal, but it's going to be dotted because you do not have an equal to. So dashed line here. And if you want less than, you want below. This case it's a little bit easier to see where's below. If you wanted to draw perpendicular, you see this one's headed down. So we'd shade all of this. And where the shading overlaps is what we darken in here. These are the solutions right here that will work in both inequalities. And that's it. 21, show all possible solutions. Well, that means let's graph it. We got to get y by itself. I add 4x, add 4x. 3y is greater than 12 plus 4x. I need to get rid of the 3, so divide every number by 3. Oh, not an equal sign, it's greater than sign. 12 divide 3 is 4, but 4 doesn't divide 3, so this is going to be plus 4/3 x. So we're going to start on the y-intercept, which is 4. The slope is 4 over 3, so we're going to start at 4. Up 4 over 3, well, that's off the graph, but if you go the exact opposite and you go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, to the left 3, not 4. Because we went down and to the left, that's exactly opposite. So do you see that those dots are still headed up? It's still a positive slope. That's what we need it to be. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. This line is going to be dashed because it does not have the equal to underneath. And then if I know I want greater. If you draw a line anywhere that's perpendicular, I could draw it over here. Anything perpendicular, you want the arrows to be going up. So the side that has arrows going higher or to the top would be this side. We shade that, and we've now shown all possible solutions to that inequality. Tickets to a movie were sold at $8 for adults, 5 for students. 8 for adults, 5 for students. Total money, 8 adults plus 5 for students equals total money. And A is adult tickets, where S is student tickets. And total tickets is 370. So A plus S, adult tickets plus student tickets, is total tickets. And then from there, we would use elimination. There's a 1 here and there's a 1 here. So I could use 8 and 1 or 5 and 1. I'm going to times the top by 1, bottom by 5, because 5 is smaller. So 8A plus 5S equals 2210 times the bottom by 5. So 5A plus 5S equals 1850. Notice from here, if you just add, you're going to get 10S. But you don't want that. You want 0. So you have to change your signs on one of your equations. All signs. Make sure you change all signs. 8 minus 5 is 3A. 5 minus 5 is 0. 2210 minus 1850 is 420. Divide out by 3 and you get A is 140 adults. Or sorry, adult tickets. If you know that the total tickets sold is 370, then we can just do 370, take away 140, and that's the remaining number of tickets we need, which is 230. 230 student tickets. Or plug in a 140 back into the equation and solve. Patty is making $12 for babysitting and $8 an hour mowing lawns. Problem 23, Patty makes $12 per hour babysitting and $8 per hour mowing lawns. She wants to make at least, and I'm just going to tell you right now, this problem is exactly the same as the one that you will see on the test. Therefore, if you remember exactly what this problem says, you will know how to do it for the test. I make 12 an hour babysitting, and I make 8 an hour mowing lawns. I need to make at least. At least is greater or equal to $100. And then the next one, she can work no more than 12 hours. Well, B is hours babysitting. M is hours mowing lawns. So hours and hours is no more than, that means it's less or equal to 12. The bottom one is easy to solve. If you don't like B and M, you can change B to X and M to Y. It is the same thing. So if you solve for M or Y, because they are the same, you're going to just minus B over, and you end up with M is less than or equal to 12, take away B. Or, if you like this better, Y is less than or equal to 12 minus X. Same thing. So we would start at 12 on the Y-axis, go down 1 over 1, and because it has the equal to, you're going to have a solid line, and we need to put some shading in here. This one is less, so I would shade everything less. And I'm going to do the other one in a different color. And if we want to solve the top one for M, we would subtract 12B over and then divide it all by 8. So I'm going to write up here 8M greater than or equal to 100. Take away 12B, divide it all by 8. And if you divide 100 by 8, you end up with, I need some room here, you end up with M is greater than or equal to 12.5. That's your y-intercept. But 12 over 8 is your slope. So I'm going to just reduce the fraction to be, that would be 3 over 2, B. So we're going to graph that. Start at 12 and a half. and go down 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2. And it would go again. So we've got solid line, and this time it's greater than. So we would go this way, and we want where do they overlap. So you would darken in this overlap part, and then it says list 2 possible combinations for hours. So if you pick a point right here, maybe you pick this point, that would be at 9, right? 9, 1. 9, 1 works. There's lots of other points that work. You could do 8, 2. Those are 2 solutions that should work. You could do 7, 4. Okay, any point in that overlap shading can be a solution or a possible combination. Remember that last problem is exactly the same as on the test. You receive a gift certificate for $25 for your local movie theater. Matinees are $4.50 each. $4.50 for each matinee. And evening shows are $7.50 each. Evening shows. And you have $25. You don't want to spend any more than $25. So you want less or equal to 25. So from here, this one is really, you've got 4.5m, 7.5e, less than or equal to 25. This one is actually, you can still solve for e. So you'd minus 450 and divide 7.5. That would make things pretty messy, but okay, so if you subtract 4.5m and 4.5m and get e by itself, you'll divide out 7.5 on each one of these, and you end up with 3.3 repeating for the y number here. So you'd have e is less than or equal to 3.3 repeating, and if you have this decimal here, it's 0.6, but that's the same as if you hit the math button, enter, and that would be 3/5 m. So if you graph that, start at 3.3, that's about right here, and then down 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then solid line, and less than, so less than is here. And it says write and graph an inequality that represents. We did that, and that is finished review. Good luck.